Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praises to Yahweh, who the ignorantly call God, by Hashem, in the name Yahweh Shah, who the ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Now, Vocab, he accuses the so-called black or the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who have reclaimed their identity for creating a false language. Now, when you go into the Hebrew Bible, I have a Hebrew Bible here, not Hebrew Bible, Salakia, a Jewish Bible, complete Jewish Bible. It says original language text underlining the complete Jewish Bible. Hebrew, Arabic text used for the Tanakh. It says, except for the Dead Sea Scrolls, which are more than 2,000 years old, the oldest extant Hebrew and Aramaic manuscripts of the Tanakh date back to the 9th and 11th century. The Tanakh was written originally with only consonants, and the Torah scrolls read today in the synagogue contains only consonants. In the 6th and 9th century, a group of scribes called the Masoretes, the word comes from Hebrew Masoret, which means tradition, developed a system of notation for recording the vowels traditionally used when reading the consonantal text of the Tanakh. Without these, the consonants of most Hebrew words could be pronounced in several ways, given several meanings. For example, if English were written with only consonants, how would you pronounce ST? Would it be sat, set, sit, sot, sate, seat, sight, suit, or suit? For context, you would know. From the context, you would know. But there developed a need to make the meanings crystal clear as Hebrew fell into disuse and not all contexts were understood. So the Masoretes recorded the traditional vowel pointings as they are called today, and printed editions of the Tanakh all have them. Moreover, Hebrew is taught with them, and while a modern Israeli reads his newspapers without vowel points, a new immigrant to Israel learns how to pronounce Hebrew with their aid. Moreover, they continue to be used in published editions of Hebrew poetry and in the Jewish prayer books. In addition, the Masoretes codified a system of punctuation, Salakia, also included in printed editions of the Tanakh. It said these canonization marks are used when the Torah is chanted in the synagogue, but their more important use is to clarify which words of the text go together. For example, in a passage familiar to Christians as well as Jews, because the New Testament makes use of it, in Isaiah 40 verse 3 says, a voice cries out, clear a road through the desert for Adonai the Lord, but at Matthew 3:3, many translations have something like, a voice cries out in the desert, clear a road for the Lord. However, the cantillation marks show that in the desert tells about the road, not the voice. So these people admit that these people in the 9th and 11th century came up with their own version of Hebrew. And when they made their Torah, it didn't have any consonants in it. It only had vowels. So where did the consonants come from? I mean, it didn't have any. Let's go back. I don't want to state that wrong. It say without these consonants, most of the Hebrew words could be pronounced in several ways and given several meanings. Okay. It said the Tanakh was written originally with only consonants. So they had a Tanakh that was written with only consonants, no vowels. The Torah scroll today has only consonants. So where did the vowels come from? Vocab ain't talking about these people that just came up with vowels out of the clear blue sky, because if they could have did it, if they had them, they would have wrote them down in the Torah and the Tanakh. But why didn't they write these vowels down? Where in the world did they get these vowels from? See? But he ain't going to them and telling them, oh, well, how can you prove, is there any writings anywhere where it says that you can have that vowel in there that you got? You see, he ain't going into these people, history and saying what they did and all about the stuff that they saying. But see, when it comes to people that's called black and that these Edomites hate, they get criticism. Whatever, if they make up some vowels to fit them, then it's saying, oh, well, y'all got a fake language. When everybody going off the basis of the continents. Only thing that was left was continent. And everybody done made up some darn letters to put in between. And they going off the context of the sentence to try to give meaning to the word. And that's what they basing it off of. They not even worried about the vowels. But if they making up the vowel, if the so-called the Hebrew Israelites making up the vowel, these Jewish people making up the vowel. But he not messing with them, man. See, that's what we talking about. This dude is a certified racist. When you criticize one group of people and you don't criticize the other. Salakia. And so, man, I want to bring that out. Where we at? 9. Okay, let me go into this Wikipedia because it tells you clearly what these people did. What they speak is Yiddish. It says what these peoples over there speaking is a High German derived language. When you say derived, that means a fake created language. Historically spoken by the Ashkenazi Jews. So these people derived their own language. That's not what the Hebrews was speaking. They don't created, derived up the vowels. They done put in German vowels. You see, they done put in all kind of vowels in there. Now I tell you, let's go down real quick. There it is. Language families. Germanic, West Germanic. See, it's pretty much a German language using the Hebrew letters. And so they don't get any criticism, man. But he wants to criticize the Hebrew Israelites that's using the same formula, but they just keep it simple, because that's what the scriptures say, that the Hebrew was a simple, easy language. It wasn't a hard language. And so that's why we keep it simple, man. But see, these people just want to criticize because they cut to the heart, and they trying to find a way to prove somebody wrong. Okay, let me get that verse. It says, Ezekiel 3:5, "For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of an hard language, but to the house of Israel." Verse 6, "Not to many people of a strange speech and of an hard language, whose word thou cannot understand. Surely had I sent you to them, they would have listened unto you." Okay, so that's the basis that these brothers use when dealing with the situation that we're in. That only the language, the only part of the language is the continents. That's all they have. And so to see that he was saying that other languages was hard, and the house of Israel, they didn't have a hard language. Their language was easy, Hebrew. You see, and so these people ain't got no legs to stand on, man. They know full well that these people created a hard language, putting in all this German vowels and vowels all over the place. Let's go back to Wikipedia. It says Roman languages. It has traces of Slavic languages, Roman languages. You see, these people are something else. But they want to criticize what we got going on. And everybody, both of them doing the same thing. The term Yiddish is also used in the adjectival sense. Okay. But they just throwing something out there. But yeah, that's the main thing I want to bring out, man. This dragon, Vocab, wanna criticize somebody and he don't criticize these people ever. See, they done hired him to be an agent and to sit up here and be a adversary, one of the main adversaries, and focus on the Hebrew Israelites, because it's all a part of the game now. Let me go back. He wanna say Vocab lovingly destroys their fake name. So now he try to use that Christian love crap too. Why he being the devil? Trying to call somebody a fake language. And then he endorsing their language just by saying that somebody else doing a fake language because they putting in vowel points. Boy, I tell you. But I'm going to leave it there. All praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. By Hashem HYPOCRITICAL. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.